Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 76.
76?
76 of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Winter Garden, Florida.
Just opened their new location in Orlando.
Not far from the Florida Mall.
That's correct. And Maple Leaf Tickets, our official ticket agency, the best deals on tickets in town.
Still in Kissimmee.
So this is a big show, but we're actually doing it a little bit late because we had a surprise. Anna and Elsa actually arrived at Epcot.
And you said her name right.
That's correct. Yes, I learned my
Instead
lesson.
of Anna, it's Anna.
Yes.
So we learn.
And it's in the former Puffin's Roost location there.
Right, and the name above says like Princess Place.
Right.
Or Princess Room is what it actually translates to.
So here they are, but we have a funny story. Again, this totally caught us off guard because we had heard that they were way behind.
Right, we thought they were going to be like in a week or so. And I was over at Costco. And so I'm racing back from Costco. My dad calls. He's like, he's going to meet the president again on Veterans Day. And
Denise's father does a lot of things for the blinded veterans and things like that. So he has all the serious stuff. He was just on TV.
Right, he's on CBS News. And so he's like, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, there's these princesses at Epcot.
It puts into perspective, but I am proud to...
And I know it's a princess and a queen.
Yes, I was going to say, lest we...
But I didn't need to explain that to him.
Your father needs to know. You need to call him back and say, no, Dad, it was a princess and a queen.
I didn't need to tell him everything. He laughed already.
So here we are. We finally get to see Anna and Elsa in their official home, which I like. I like the decor. It looks really good.
It doesn't look anything like that section of the store anymore.
Right. Well, I would hope not.
I mean, there's still the Puffin's Roost. It's just one section, a small section of it is cordoned off for them.
No, I thought they were actually much more fun and better than the previous time we saw them.
No, I thought they were really good that time too. I think they were very good.
People thought Elsa was a little cold, although
she's frozen.
She is the Snow Queen.
We haven't seen the film yet, so I don't have a lot to base it off of yet.
Right, we'll have to reinvestigate this after we see the movie.
We don't have to reinvestigate.
But just to give everyone a heads up, if you're waiting for this, there is no cover. So if it's raining or if it's really hot, you might want to bring an umbrella either way.
There's a little bit of room inside. They could bring in a few people, but not too many. And so it was raining the day that we were there. It had just stopped when I arrived, but you probably had your umbrella
I had to use the umbrella the whole time or I would have been soaked. And almost everybody had something. So.
And I think that area is going to get completely packed.
And they have a plan. They have a plan for that. They have a second waiting area on the other side of the Stave Church, which this way they can only have so many people.
Where the bathrooms are?
That's correct. That's where the part 2 of the line will be. They expect this to be crazy once the movie
where
opens.
The big boat used to be.
Right. But again, I loved it. They were great. They talked about all the characters, about Sven and Olaf and Kristoff. And we even asked about Hans, which we had a very interesting exchange. So.
And we have the video up. And also they will be there currently through January 4th, I believe is the last day. And I don't know what will happen with them after that, if they'll end up in Akershus or if it will be extended.
Right, who knows? I mean, this is a brand new princess.
I think they'll be very popular.
I think they'll be very popular too. Just like Rapunzel, I think they will eventually have a permanent meet and greet location, but I know it will not be in the store forever. Because
I'm assuming they'll have a permanent one. Right. I mean, who knows?
Who knows? And I should also mention they are currently appearing at Disneyland and Fantasyland right now, starting yesterday.
And we look forward to seeing them there too.
Yes, we sure do. And just another look around the location here. You could see her Elsa's ice castle in the background, which I thought was quite exciting. There is a snow motif on the rug.
And the dress looks different than when we saw them the first time. I don't know if she had it sort of bundled up in the back, but it was very puffy looking from the side.
It looks classier now, more elegant.
More
something
longer and elegant.
You'd see in an award show.
And it looks very long. So I don't know. I know she was holding it last time too at one point, so I just... It looks a little different.
And that could be part of the delay, too. And what a shocker, a gift shop.
But it was already here.
Frozen
they already had this
items.
The last few weeks.
Well, in anticipation of this,
And the rug looks nicer, too.
So I guess it's worth it to get a nice new rug in there.
It didn't look good before. And I like the Sven. I think the Sven gives the best bang for the buck in the plush department here.
Yes, the reindeer Sven.
Yes.
Which is perfect for Christmas time.
So hopefully they'll have more adult merchandise. There's not too much right now.
Yeah, I think when the movie comes and starts to hit, like I'm sure it will, you'll see plenty of that. Also, we went to Club Cool here at Epcot to try out all the new sodas.
Which used to be Ice Station Cool.
I loved Ice Station Cool.
I did too.
I mean, when you live in Florida, it's nice to be able to throw a snowball at your neighbor.
I love that. I wish they still had it.
So here are the new sodas. Of course, the number one, the best of all, Beverly from Italy, a fine aperitif.
I do not like that.
My all-time favorite.
And we're probably going to skewer some of the names.
There is the Grease soda, which is the pineapple soda. I liked the pineapple. Did you like that one?
I don't really like pineapple in a drink as much.
Thailand here had the one that was a melon type of soda.
Melon Frosty.
Right. It's the closest one to the old watermelon soda.
And then the Japan, I don't know if it's VegetaBeta. This is the one.
Sounds like a Lucy
yes,
episode.
It was from previous. I like that better.
In South Africa, that was the Bibo. That was the other green soda, which I didn't really care for. Zimbabwe.
And I think is that the Barberry one?
Yes, Barberry, which is sort of like a raspberry soda.
But I didn't
like
think it tasted that much like raspberry.
No.
And Inca Cola.
Inca Cola. It doesn't sound appetizing.
And then from Brazil, this was the hardest one to try to say.
Yeah, that was the
Guarana
Quat. Another one that doesn't sound overly appetizing.
And then Jeff's like, let's just line them up by color. There was not too many people there.
We tried all the new sodas, and to be quite honest, none of them were exceptionally. I didn't really care for any of the new sodas, but I love the colors. A friend of mine calls it the Skittles of soda.
One of my favorites used to be the Kinley, and that is gone. Of course, you can have Sprite, and it's very similar to like Sprite and those type of drinks.
As long as my Beverly is here, I'm a happy guy.
I'm not a big fan, really, of any of the new drinks. Nothing just like jumped out at me.
Well, I think I'll be drinking the pineapple, and then that one right there, the melon, because I did like the watermelon one that they used to have. So the melon is the closest.
Very sweet. A few of them are very, very sweet.
I think the one I least like was the Peru, the Inca Cola, which wasn't like a cola at all. I didn't care for it. Okay, well, we're done.
We're done with Epcot.
Yes, that was quick. Things move fast around here. Now it's limited time magic. The rest of the show here is a celebration of all holidays, but mostly Halloween.
And next week is Christmas.
Yes.
Like within a week, we'll have Christmas up.
But this was a wonderful thing. It was the Halloween, special Halloween edition of the Golden Horseshoe. And what did they call it?
Happy Haunted Halloween.
Haunted Halloween.
And it was like almost like being at the Adventurers Club in some ways. Again, a lot of great acting and stuff.
It was tremendous. And speaking of the Adventurers Club, we recognize this character.
She's Miss Betty Blue. What are you talking
right.
about?
She is Miss Betty Blue. That's correct. Let's not get carried away. But she was great, hilarious. There was a lot of playful fun between us, and we always liked that. Of course, you weren't happy that I picked a front row center.
He picked front row, and I kept getting, we kept getting talked to, and I was in a card trick, and I'm like, I do not like that type of thing. So when our friend Jeremiah came, I said, you can have my seat, and I'm moving back.
And then I think Jeremiah passed it on to other bloggers. I think that seat ended up being passed along all day, so that's a funny story.
And that was Abner Cadaver.
Yes.
He was the one with a card trick.
He was very good. He was good. And of course, the Cadaver Dans.
And they're usually just at the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, so it was really great to see them here.
Now, years ago, they actually had the Cadaver Dans in a full show. Every party happened in here in the Diamond Horseshoe. And they haven't done that since, I would say, 2003. Or so.
That's a long time ago.
It's been a while.
I've been going since the 90s.
Oh, and here you go. They had some specialty snacks available, and we did buy one of the eyeball cupcakes.
Yes, we bought an eyeball cupcake, and then they said it was like some kind of special chips, but the chips didn't look Halloween-y. They just looked like chips.
They didn't really do anything for me. They also had fruit.
And supposedly, I guess they brought in sandwiches from the cart.
Right.
I don't want to say the cart, the Liberty Square
Correct.
area.
Correct.
And they're good sandwiches.
Yeah, had they had sandwiches, I would have bought that and stayed for another set. But we were starving like Marvin.
Well, I think we were there an hour and a half, so that was pretty good.
And okay, so I guess we're going to see now our cupcake. I loved the cupcake, actually. I thought it was really good. And you ate the eyeball.
I did eat the eyeball. The chocolate
eyeball. I got none
eyeball.
of the eyeball, I don't think.
I don't know. I probably offered it.
So another fun thing was around the resorts, they had a cast member pumpkin decorating contest. It's something they do every year.
And this used to be something that really was mostly at the deluxe resorts and Disney's Coronado Springs Resort. And now it's, you find them in the value resorts. The value resorts are really adding more during the holidays.
I love that's so original. The cupcake that looks like a candy apple.
I like that too. Oh, you mean the pumpkin?
I'm sorry,
the cupcake. You're still got cupcakes
yes.
on the mind.
Of course.
Now this was probably the most original. A magic band.
And it works. I put my band up to it, and it lit.
Does not work.
It did. It worked.
It did not work. Don't listen to him.
Well, it's always lit. That was my little joke there.
They did a great job with that.
And Olaf, of course, he lost his head. Now,
around the resorts that we went to, Frozen was the most, I think, used theme. That and Pixar's Up.
Yeah. Well, they are real. What you're seeing is real pumpkins. All of this stuff is real deal. And all the cast members are very creative. I love this. This is from Monsters.
This was one of my favorites.
Mike Wazowski and Roz. And then there is Darth Vader, flanked with two Ursulas.
There was like 3 Ursulas in this one. And was this at...
that was at
Art?
All-Star... No.
Pop.
Art of Animation.
Art of Animation. That's what I thought.
This is Old Key West right here.
This was my favorite of the Frozen displays, even though there were many really good ones.
You just like Sven. You love Sven.
I like that he was added.
But we have full videos of all the resorts we went to for the pumpkin display. So if you want to see more, just check them out. We'll link that all up. And
I wish we could have seen them all.
Yes, I wish so. I wish that.
Next year we'll work harder.
And also for a very limited time, only about 2 hours.
2 hours
from
total.
4 to 6, they had special character outfits on the characters at the resorts.
Well, special character meet and greets, and these characters, there were different ones at every single resort, and here was Jester, Mickey, and Goofy.
I loved Jester, Mickey, and Goofy, and a perfect match for the French Quarter.
Right, and I like that each resort had something a little bit unique.
And they're all very playful. I mean, it's exciting to see them in different outfits.
I wish we had more time.
It's sort of like a race because we had to do our tradition, which was get over to Fort Wilderness for the golf cart parade. So we didn't have a lot of time.
We didn't have a lot of time,
but we squeezed every second.
We did. We just made it to the golf cart parade by a few minutes.
But we had heard from someone in line that this was going on over at the
and we have
animation.
full videos.
This is wonderful. Too. It is Cop, Chip, and
dancing bandit.
Dancing Bandit Dale. And you got to hold Dale's ball.
Oh,
you
stop.
actually asked Dale if you could hold his ball.
I did. I was like, "Can I hold your ball?" And I'm like, "Well, I probably shouldn't say that to my character."
I also held his ball. So that was, and see, he's giving it to the cop there.
I wouldn't say that again.
But
like
it was wonderful. I loved it. Can't get enough of these characters in different outfits. So and also I was handcuffed too, by the way. Remember?
Well,
Chip
you handcuffed yourself
for the picture, but it's funnier the other
Dale.
way. Yes, that's true. So again, they were out for only 2 hours.
Oh no, is it I'm trying to look at their nose to Chip. Yeah,
yes,
to Chip. You were handcuffed to Chip.
That's correct. Dale is the bandit.
And we know others who went to All-Star Movies, and the Mickey and Minnie were dressed very elegantly. So it would have been nice to see them, too.
And at Fort Wilderness, which was our third and final stop, it was Frontier-dressed Donald there, and Goofy in his Halloween...
Not too different than what we've seen in the past. I mean...
Yes, at Fort Wilderness.
But
it's usually this
Disney
outfit.
really outdid itself this year. It used to be like Pumpkin... Donald, and that's all you would really see is the standard characters.
But we had a wonderful Halloween, as we always do. Our Halloween is usually around Fort Wilderness,
yes,
where we'll go for the golf cart parade. We'll see the characters. We'll have a dinner at Trails End, which we had a great dinner at Trails End, and we highly recommend Trails End to anybody listening because it's sort of maybe a lot of people don't know about it or go to it.
And the price isn't bad, and it's really just down-home cooking.
It is, and you get your Tables in Wonderland discount on Halloween.
On Halloween.
Which you do not get on Christmas Eve,
right.
Which we also have gone there on Christmas Eve. So, and this was just sort of a showing how the setup was. But here we go. It's the golf cart parade from this year. And as far as the golf cart parade goes, these are just regular guests that decorate their golf carts. Well, these aren't. These are actually Disney. And I have all respect that they can peddle these things.
I really, because we've had such a hard time with those carts.
Yeah.
What are they called, the bikes or the Surrey bikes?
Remember, we thought it'd be so much fun. We took it out
over
at the
hotel. Hyatt.
Oh boy, we probably made it.
We didn't make it
150
very
feet.
far. We just went and got regular bikes.
They must
they're
be
hard.
super cast members right there. I'm impressed.
But there's Donald and Pluto going by.
And this was one of our favorites. We'll just look at some of the highlights.
Are they the
from
ones
this
who
year.
do the pirates every year, do you think?
I think they are, yeah.
That's
Just
one,
Buried.
Just Buried.
So, and this one also has been there in the past. It was with the spider.
I would say that overall, there was nothing that stood out like in a huge way as
Duck
it has.
Dynasty was very popular,
yes,
though.
It was. When I put that online, everyone's like, no way.
Yeah, the Duck Dynasty guys were great, and they were interacting later on. We had some camera troubles, unfortunately, with your new Nikon. But
Right. Within 24 hours, the Nikon had to be sent back.
But a new one is on the way, so it'll be okay. But it's just, again,
And that
it's
was
just
a brave
fun.
cart.
I
You
would
had a
say,
little Merida.
I would say this was more of a crowded Halloween.
It was much more crowded. There were many more guests watching.
And things had changed around a bit this year. The judging was in a different location, and where the golf carts ended up, it was in a different location. They just let them free.
Right. They usually went to a field, and then you could go look at them. And this time it was just like they just dispersed. And it would have been nice to get to talk to some of them.
We love to go and talk to all the creative people who make it, and you make new friends that way. So I kind of missed that part. This was another great one.
And this, I really like this one. This is probably my favorite that rolled by us was the Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, and there's Wreck-It Ralph himself. Even the campers are dressed in costume. So.
And we saw them a number of times.
And this was another favorite. If you look at this up close, very detailed. There's Mr. Ray up there.
And I didn't get a chance to see this up close again because of the way they did it this year, but this is by the Grizel Sierra and her family.
And we just had mentioned the Up House earlier. They were the Up House people.
And they also won
once
something.
again, very detailed. They think they won for best Disney golf cart or something.
It looked very nice.
And that what just rolled by was also very nice. Almost a professional looking Vanellope mobile. So there was some great stuff. And this we see every year.
Every year, and they added a little something to it this time.
And at night, on Halloween night, it was all lit up, and it was sort of like a Main Street electrical parade float driving around the campground. So I love that.
And you like this one a lot, too.
I like this because you don't know who's in there. I don't know how they can see.
Maybe nobody's in there.
And Denise is like, well, maybe the Up people are in there because we haven't seen them.
No, I don't think. Did
and
I
it
say
turns
that?
out, yes.
I remember.
And it turns out we had just seen them, but they went by so fast we didn't get a chance to say hi. But again, that was the golf cart parade this year, a favorite of ours, and we'll be back next year.
And
sure.
I just want to say hi also to Monty and Diane who stopped us.
Yes, a nice shout out to them. We enjoyed talking. We ran into them a number of times.
Right.
Unfortunately, because we had the camera problems, we couldn't talk as much as we would normally like to. So, but it's all resolved. And this is the winner of the best decorated campsite, and it was spectacular.
It's very dark, so it's probably harder to see because it was at night. And
no, you could see it quite good.
Can you?
You can see
I
it
guess
quite good.
my eyes are not that good.
Yes. No. This same family won
A couple years ago.
And what I like about it is it's not inflatables or store-bought things. They make all these items themselves.
Of it themselves.
I mean, they do buy some of it, but they do make quite a bit of it themselves. And they even have ghosts that are flying around.
And it took them a couple
strings.
days to put it up.
Yeah, there's fog. I guess they actually got complaints because there was so much fog.
A couple
the bus drivers
times.
said
That was like 2 years ago, right?
No, this year.
Oh,
they
was
said they
it?
were told to tone down, and there were so many people watching it, they had to have two rangers come to guard the traffic, or not guard the traffic, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Guide the traffic. So it was hugely popular. We ended up seeing them later on Halloween night because we took a while talking to friends and things in Trails End.
So we really, I mean, this took them a couple days, I think, to put up, and they even have some pieces from Cypress Gardens from a number of years ago.
Right. That was the village that you saw earlier. And there's sound effects, smoke, lasers, things up in the trees. It's just, it's truly amazing. They
upgraded it from a couple years ago.
They really have. So, and they said they'll be back next year. So,
and hopefully they'll get that spot.
that's true. And this little spider would come jumping out at you.
I know, that made me nervous.
It was very startling if you didn't see it coming. So, but anyway, that was our Halloween. We always have a great time at Fort Wilderness on Halloween.
It's hard to believe. I mean, it was just a few days ago, and now we're thinking about Christmas this week. I mean, it's going to be all Christmas all week.
Yes, today is Monday. We're recording the show, and this Friday is the very first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
And we'll have tips on that next week. And if we have time for Osborne lights, and we have the Jingle Cruise and the first Cinderella Castle lighting.
Well, the first Cinderella Castle lighting is actually tomorrow.
Yes.
And also the first showing of the Celebrate the Magic Light Show, which is going to have a Frozen segment. So lots to look forward to.
As I said, all Christmas.
All Christmas. So thanks again to our sponsors, Theme Park Connection and Maple Leaf Tickets. We'll see you all next week.
Have a great week. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And Happy Halloween.
And Happy Halloween.